It's a sprint to the finish line as Maryland's candidates for governor try to convince undecided voters and turn out their base ahead of Election Day. And to help you decide which candidate is for you, we're going to check out where they stand on the issues. Our Larry Miller sat down with the Democratic candidate for governor, Wes Moore.
How are you feeling?
We're feeling good.
A Washington Post UMD poll found Moore has a 32-point lead over his Republican opponent, Dan Cox. Participants in the poll say the economy, crime, and taxes represent some of the leading issues driving voters to the polls. Maryland voters say the economy is priority number one.
Analysts are predicting that we could dip into a rather deep recession going into the early part of next year. What are you going to do?
We are going to prioritize things like fixing a broken childcare system and getting parents, and particularly young parents, back to work. Right now, Maryland has the 7th highest unemployment rate inside the country. But the irony of that number is there is 2 available jobs for every single person in Maryland filing for unemployment. We're just not training and preparing our workers and our students to participate in that economy.
Then there are taxes.
You want people to come here, you want people to grow businesses here, you want people to live here. But people look at the tax structure here and say it's unattractive for them. What are you going to do about that?
The state of Maryland right now is currently ranked 50th in the country, ranked 50th in the country for places to retire. The worst in the country. We're going to focus on all the things that's going to make Maryland a better place to not just come and grow and build, but also a better place to retire. And that means we are going to take a look at tax rates.
Does that mean tax cuts?
First of all, no intention of raising taxes, but eventually we do want to get to a point that we can actually lower taxes.
Crime is also a critical issue. Prince George's County, a vital county for any candidate statewide, has extended a curfew for minors. During its first month, county officials say crime fell by 13% with a 24% reduction in violent crime. We asked Moore how he plans to tackle crime statewide.
This all has to be partnership. The job of the governor is not to look at the local jurisdictions and say, do better on crime. There's a partnership. We are going to prioritize things that the state can uniquely do. For example, making sure that these illegal guns they're staying out of our communities and out of our neighborhoods. That's something we do in partnership with our local jurisdictions and our federal partners.
Larry Miller, WUSA 9.
Okay, so tomorrow night, hear from the Republican nominee for governor, Dan Cox. Get his take on the big issues Maryland voters care about most.